that sat up with you in the front, and he was kind of naughty. And you brought that girl home to East Otisfield. Do you remember that?
Well, yeah, this boy that went with me to school, I think you're talking about the one that went with me to school. And when we got almost home, he was always fooling around. One of the girls sat back and he reached back and kissed her. Just about the time we came by her father could see him. Her father came out and was going to thrash him. Now, what do? Do you let him thrash him or don't you? And I said, no, you're not going to do that. Now I said, that didn't do any harm. I can assure you, he won't do it again. Because I talked to him afterwards. Yeah, but anyway, the father didn't do it.
Didn't thrash him, no, and I like that story.
Yeah, that was good. And this girl that went with us, and she died very recently. I know her all my life. She was a real nice girl.
And she didn't marry that boy. She married somebody else, right?
No, she married the neighbor. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened. That boy, he went away afterwards. I lost him. Yeah.
Would you tell us about cutting ice and what the ice was for and how you did it?
Oh, well, actually, I didn't cut much ice. My father was the ice man. And back in those days, there was no electric refrigerators. So you had to have ice. Now, the way they kept ice, they had an ice house, just something they put up, loaded up. They fill up with ice and then put sawdust over it. Then when they come to want the ice, they take it out, wash the sawdust off. And so father was quite a fellow to get around, make $1 out of something. He had to. He had an old farm there, and he made a good many dollars with it. But anyway, he'd go and mark off a place, be the number of cakes of ice that he wanted. And then he had, it was like a plow, you could hitch her on and go back and forth and drive that part way down. Then grandfather was always there, and he was a little short man, but boy, he could saw ice. You know, that saw up and down. He could do it all day. I was awful glad I didn't have to do it. I drove horses. That's what they told me to do anyway.
Now, did you deliver ice too?
Yeah. Well, no. All he did was he put a lot of ice in his own ice house. But the farmers around there wanted some ice. They'd tell him what they wanted, and he sent me to haul it. All I'd do was throw it in the ice house. They could pack it. But it seemed like not much of a price. He got 5 cents a cake.
And that's
Yeah.
this size, or?
No, well, that size.
Huh.
Around 14 inches square, and whatever thickness it was. And he got 5 cents a cake. Well, actually, that don't seem like much. But he did pretty well at it. Yeah. He was the first one that had paid income tax when the government said over a certain amount, which the amounts were $750 if you got one of that good. And you made it out on a postcard and sent it to the IRS. I'm still paying. I'm paying income tax since I started paying an income tax in 1932. And I've paid one every year since. But I don't think I'll have to pay one for last year. I've spent most of my money down where I live. 4,000 a month takes a lot of money. Yeah, that's now. They used ice up until about 1933. In 1933, a number of places that come out with refrigerators that you could buy, because in 1927, the Central Maine Power bought a lot of little stations. There was a little station in Norway, and they bought that. And they put wires around different places. That was they did most wire in 1927. And then, you see, as soon as you got the wires to have electricity, you could buy a refrigerator. Now, my father had always used ice that he got from the pond, but he got to be old. It's quite a job for him to get that out. He sold ice around there. And I was there one day and I said, Father, if you persuade Dad to tear that ice out down, I'll go buy you a refrigerator. She said, Dad, come in here. He did. And I went and bought the refrigerator for him. Yeah. There was quite a few things like that. Now, there's another thing. Most of the towns had corn shops because this area around here was good for growing corn. And in fact, the one where C.N. Brown is, that was a corn shop. And at one time we had the corn shop in Otisfield. Not very big, but it canned corn and gave the farmers some money for raising it. But after a while, and I've always been sorry that they did it, they started shipping canned corn in from the west. Now, the corn that they canned here was, they chopped it all up fine, put it in. Now this, they got whole kernel corn. Probably just as good, but I don't like it.
Why don't you tell them a little bit about how you walked the borders of Otisfield?
About what?
Remember how you walked the borders and you were the selectman or something?
That's a funny thing. If you take this, you ought to pass that around something.
Okay.
I was quite proud of that, for the fact that the legislature did that. I never expected to be honored that much.
But you were in your 90s when you did that.
Huh?
You were in your 90s when you walked all the borders, right?
Yes.
That wasn't very long ago.
Yeah, it was about 97.
Yeah. And it's about 17 miles, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
But some of the borders on the water, but all the land borders of Otisfield you walked.
Yeah, you see, they talk about walking the town lines. The town line between, well, it starts with the Norway town line, Oxford town line. Then Oxford goes down